Catherine of Aragon is often remembered simply as the first wife of Henry VIII and the queen he famously divorced. But Catherine's story is one of remarkable strength, intelligence, and resilience. From commanding troops on the battlefield to playing a crucial role in England's diplomacy, Catherine of Aragon was far from a passive figure in history. Catherine was born on December 16, 1485, in the Alhambra Palace in Spain. As the youngest daughter of King Ferdinand II of Aragon and Queen Isabella I of Castile, she was born into one of the most powerful and influential royal families in Europe. Her parents' marriage had unified Spain, and their successful campaign to expel the Moors from Granada marked the culmination of the Reconquista. From a young age, Catherine received a comprehensive education. She was well versed in Latin, French, and Spanish, and she studied classical literature, history, and theology. This rigorous education prepared her for the complex political role she was destined to play. At the age of 16, Catherine embarked on a perilous journey across the sea to England, leaving her homeland of Spain behind. Her voyage was fraught with danger, navigating treacherous waters and facing the uncertainty of what awaited her in a foreign land. Yet, fueled by duty and ambition, Catherine braved the journey, propelled by the promise of a royal marriage that would secure alliances and shape the course of history. Upon her arrival in England, Catherine was met with great fanfare and ceremony. She was welcomed into the English court with open arms, hailed as the future queen consort who would strengthen the bond between England and Spain. Amidst the splendor of the royal court, Catherine faced the daunting task of adapting to a new culture and navigating the complex politics of Tudor England. In November 1501, Catherine married Prince Arthur, the eldest son of King Henry VII. The wedding was a lavish affair, marked by opulent feasts, extravagant celebrations, and the promise of a union that would unite two powerful kingdoms. Catherine and Arthur shared moments of intimacy and companionship, forging a bond based on mutual respect and affection. However, their happiness was short-lived, as tragedy struck just 5 months into their marriage. Prince Arthur fell ill and passed away, leaving Catherine a widow at the tender age of 16. The loss of her beloved husband plunged Catherine into mourning, casting a shadow over her future and the political landscape of Europe. The death of Prince Arthur left Catherine in a precarious position. Without a husband, her future hung in the balance, and the political alliances between England and Spain were called into question. For 7 long years, Catherine remained in limbo, her fate uncertain as she waited for a new marriage proposal to secure her position and fulfill her dynastic duty. Diplomatic negotiations and court intrigues swirled around her, as various suitors vied for her hand in marriage. Yet, despite the uncertainty and upheaval, Catherine remained steadfast in her resolve, determined to fulfill her destiny and reclaim her place on the throne of England. During these years of uncertainty, Catherine demonstrated remarkable resilience and adaptability. Living in the English court, she navigated its complex social and political landscape with grace and intelligence. She maintained correspondence with her parents, King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella of Spain, who were keenly interested in securing her future and the alliance with England. Despite the lack of clarity regarding her status, Catherine's education and upbringing shone through, earning her the respect and admiration of many at court. King Henry VII, aware of the political importance of maintaining the Spanish alliance, considered various options for Catherine's future. One potential solution was to marry her to his younger son, Henry, Duke of York. However, complications arose, including questions about the validity of such a marriage given her previous union with Arthur. To address these concerns, a dispensation from the Pope was sought, allowing Catherine to marry Henry, despite being the widow of his brother. Meanwhile, young Henry, Duke of York, was growing into a charismatic and ambitious prince. The idea of marrying Catherine gained favor, not only for its political advantages but also because of the personal admiration Henry held for her. Catherine, with her dignified presence and steadfast faith, represented the ideal queen consort. Despite the delay and uncertainty, the prospect of their marriage began to take shape, symbolizing hope and stability for both England and Spain. Finally, in 1509, after the death of King Henry VII, young Henry ascended the throne as Henry VIII. One of his first acts as king was to reaffirm the marriage proposal to Catherine. The years of waiting and uncertainty culminated in a joyous union. Henry and Catherine were married on June 11, 1509, and their marriage was celebrated with great pomp and ceremony. Catherine's patience and perseverance had paid off, and she now stood beside Henry as Queen of England, ready to embark on a new chapter of her life, filled with both promise and challenge. Catherine and Henry's marriage was not just a union of hearts but also a strategic alliance that strengthened both the English and Spanish thrones. As queen, Catherine was not a passive figurehead. She played an active role in political affairs, often advising Henry on matters of state. Her education and upbringing at the Spanish court had prepared her well for this role. Catherine's influence extended to the English court, where she engaged with courtiers and dignitaries, skillfully navigating the intricate web of court politics. Her poise and intelligence earned her the respect and admiration of those around her. Catherine's strength and resolve were put to the test during the Battle of Flodden in 1513. While Henry was away on a campaign in France, Catherine served as regent in his absence. When King James IV of Scotland invaded England, she took charge of the defense. Catherine donned armor and addressed the troops, inspiring them with her courage and determination. Under her leadership, the English forces achieved a decisive victory, and King James IV was killed in the battle. The Battle of Flodden was one of the bloodiest battles in British history, with heavy casualties on both sides. Catherine's role in the victory cemented her reputation as a capable and formidable leader. She sent Henry a piece of King James IV's blooded coat, a grim token of their triumph. Despite the victory, Catherine's letters to Henry revealed the emotional toll the battle had taken on her. She expressed relief at the outcome but also sorrow for the lives lost. This moment in history showed that Catherine was far more than just a queen consort. She was a ruler in her own right, capable of making critical decisions in the face of adversity. As Henry and Catherine continued to rule together, their partnership faced numerous challenges, but Catherine's resilience and wisdom always shone through. Her early years of triumph and sorrow would shape her reign and leave an indelible mark on English history. As the years passed, the marriage between Henry and Catherine grew more complex. The couple shared moments of genuine affection and partnership, but their union was also marked by profound tragedy and heartbreak. Catherine continued to play a significant role in advising Henry on political matters, and their partnership was strong. However, the most challenging aspect of their marriage was Catherine's repeated pregnancies and the devastating losses they endured. Catherine's first pregnancy in 1510 resulted in a stillborn daughter. This was followed by another tragic loss in 1511, when their son, Henry, Duke of Cornwall, died just 52 days after his birth. These early losses were only the beginning of a series of heart-wrenching disappointments. Catherine endured 6 pregnancies, but only one child survived infancy, Mary, born in 1516. The losses were devastating for Catherine, who longed to provide Henry with a male heir. The pressure and heartbreak were immense, as each loss brought renewed hope followed by crushing grief. Historical records and letters reveal the depth of Catherine's suffering. In one letter to her father, King Ferdinand of Aragon, Catherine expressed her profound sorrow. "My tribulation is so great, my life so disturbed by the plans daily invented to further the king's wicked intention, and the surprising fresh news that I have small powers to defend myself." The relentless quest for a male heir strained Catherine and Henry's marriage. Henry's frustration grew as he became increasingly desperate for a son to secure the Tudor dynasty. Catherine's inability to provide a male heir, through no fault of her own, became a focal point of their marital discord. The losses affected Henry deeply as well. He was known to have been genuinely devastated by the death of his son Henry in 1511. His hopes for a male heir had been dashed time and again, and the strain it placed on his relationship with Catherine was immense. Catherine's trials as a wife and mother reveal the depth of her character and the immense pressures faced by royal women in the 16th century. Her story is one of enduring strength, faith, and an unwavering commitment to her role as queen and mother, despite the heartaches and challenges she faced. Catherine's deep religious devotion was a significant aspect of her life. She was a devout Catholic, and her faith influenced her actions and policies as queen. She was also known for her charitable works, including founding a hospital for poor people and supporting the establishment of the friars' houses. Her piety and charity endeared her to many of her subjects and solidified her image as a compassionate and benevolent queen. For nearly 2 decades, Catherine served as a devoted wife and queen, offering counsel and support to Henry. However, as the years went by and the hope for a male heir diminished, Henry's dissatisfaction grew. Despite her many contributions, the pressure to produce a male heir led Henry to seek an annulment. His infatuation with Anne Boleyn only intensified his resolve. Henry's desire for an annulment became known as the King's Great Matter. He sought to have his marriage to Catherine declared invalid on the grounds that she had been his brother's widow. Henry's courtship of Anne Boleyn was both a personal and political maneuver. Anne, with her charm and wit, captivated Henry, promising the male heir he so desperately desired. Catherine, deeply devoted to her faith and her marriage, refused to concede. She maintained that her marriage to Henry was legitimate and stood firm in her conviction. The battle over the annulment dragged on for years, embroiling England in a conflict with the Pope and leading to the eventual break with the Catholic Church. Throughout it all, Catherine remained resolute, her dignity and faith never wavering. After the annulment, Catherine was stripped of her title and banished from court. She spent her remaining years in isolation, yet she remained steadfast in her faith and dignity until her death in 1536. Catherine's legacy as a queen who combined strength, intelligence, and compassion lives on. Catherine of Aragon's life is a testament to her resilience and multifaceted role as a queen, regent, patron, and warrior. Her story continues to inspire and reminds us of the powerful women who have shaped history.